So I've created enough integrity in the seat of the pants with my temporary stitching that the holes are more or less being held together in the original shape of the pants, or at least in the shape that has now fitted the client's body. And I'm ready to put on a patch. I've already pre-cut the patch, and I'll just give you an idea of what it's going to look like while I work away. So this is the seat cutout of another pair of pants that were discarded pants. Not discarded into the landfill, but no longer useful to the person who used to wear them. And I even cut out the pockets, and the pockets I'm going to sew here. So it's like making a new garment altogether. And in fact, these pockets, when I sew them on, I'm not going to sew them all the way through over the sections where the original pocket are. I'm going to sew them to the pocket in a way that keeps the functionality of the first pocket and also maintains the functionality of this new pocket. So the client's going to get 4 pockets instead of just 2, and a pair of pants that once the patches are applied will have a lot more strength and many more years to them. There's places I have to do repair on the front of the pants. I haven't shown you that yet, and that's okay. We'll just work away here while I yabber. This idea of caring for our textiles sort of also relates to how we understand ourselves as interconnected in this world. You know, your caring for your own garments is not independent of care for the world and people around you. When I extend the life of a garment, partly I'm respecting the makers who made the original garment, like all the beings who were involved in creating the original fabric, the dyes, who grew the fiber in the fields, who harvested the fiber, who sewed the fabric together, who sold the jeans, the people who were working in the shops, the retail centers. And it goes on and on and on. Think about all of the different elements that went into growing the fibers for this pair of jeans. The sun, the rain, the earth. It's not just this inanimate object. There is so much involved in the creating of this. And then the patches that I've applied. I know who wore these jeans. I know where they came from. I know the history of them. I've had these in my care for over 10 years. And they've just been waiting for the right projects. You know, parts of these jeans have already been used on other projects. So these are more pieces. I don't get rid of fiber in textile. I have piles of little tiny scraps left over, strings here that are cut off of my threads when I'm sewing, that are pulled out of other shirts or sweaters that are woven, that are unraveling, little bits, tags even, you know, little bits and pieces that I've cut off. All of this actually becomes part of another project. You know, these become stuffing for the motanki that go into the exhibits or that are the talismans that are commissioned or gifted, or the ones that go into the ceremonies for the land. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing should go to waste. We need to start changing our mindset in this world to come back to a place where even if it's through learning to do mending, and then you see the time and energy that goes into the making of something or the remaking of something, then you begin to appreciate it in a different way. You start to care for your garments in a different way. You start to care for one another in a different way and care for the earth. And when you go to sew something, you're doing a kind of medicine that's called binding. I think I'll make a whole other clip about medicine of binding and weaving. That'll be for another time. So just sticking with this idea of no waste. No waste. Find uses for these things in your life. It's one of the ways that you can show your care.